hey there. I know. How did I get a YouTube channel? Well, unlike the Deadpool movie, it doesn't involve movie executives edging fans for a decade or playing second fiddle and getting my mouth sewn shut like a gimp in the movie of some other guy from Les Miserables. No, for me, I just have this taste of pastrami I can't get out of my mouth. Maybe I need to gargle more honey or custard or something. So the Block Family Racing did a little feature on the Hoonicorn for turning 10. Not sure how that translates to human years. Was V2 like going through puberty? Like that awkward phase where its tune changed? Anyhow, they finished it up with asking what the Hoonicorn should do next. Simple, stay in the Block family. Video over right there. Thanks for watching. I'd like to thank my fictitious sponsors, Black Raven Coffee, Laughing Man Gin and Aviation Tea. Also shout out to my non-existent Patreon supporters without whom this isn't possible. And click the link below for... Oh, too soon? Okay, so what should the Block family do with the Hoonicorn? Oh, well there's an overwhelming majority of people who believe it should be driven by Leah. I'm not going to say they're wrong, but Leah only has so much time and we don't want to drag her away from her goals and force the Hoonicorn on her like a side piece to her racing career. But, staying in the family, Gymkhana was a side project to Ken's racing. It should be no different for Lucy and family. Something to entertain fans and maybe remind people who sponsors them. But in a world, a fantasy Marvel multiverse where we can make up anything and don't have to cast anyone for the TVA to use it as a crazy plot piece to rewrite previous projects. Let's put that voice away and never use it again, because oh my. And we'll spitball a few ideas. Idea number 1, Hoonicorn sits in the Block family storage. Lame. That sort of writing effort will need a crap ton of CGI if we can't get some massive industry names, or else we're not going to break even, and it's just going to drain the Block family's finances. Borrowing from Hollywood, we could take an old favourite and rewrite it with CGI aliens and call a rare mineral unobtainium. Yes, Hurt Locker was a better work of fiction, and I will debate anyone from BRCC on that fact. As far as ideas go, let's rank that with Green Lantern or sewing the mouth shut on the Merc with a mouth. Yeah, that's right, Hollywood. It's a great idea. Stuff the fans. Alright, so that's a crap idea. Idea number 2. We beg Lucy to let Kira and Micah get a similar education to Leah under the watchful, careful eye of Uncle Trav and those that helped Leah. Because Leah is so busy, we just have her show up at the end and hand over the keys to the Hoonicorn. Or in good old Aussie fashion, we take it to the burnout pad and we see who can do the better doughies. It's all fun till the cops come. That saves us from having to put Trav in the Hoonicorn, because apparently when he gets into a vehicle that isn't exactly his sponsor's and maybe has a different sponsor on the hood, it doesn't go well. Who'd have thought? This, of course, assumes that Trav's got nothing better to do. I mean, wait, didn't I come up with some idea for this? Oh yeah, we're going to use the TVA, fixes all problems. And with more people from the Block family able to drive the Hoonicorn and race it around, we can have the Blocks versus the Clock. There could be a slight reworking of Hoonicorn versus the World, maybe, just to suit the Block family channel a little bit better. And we can even see if the Hoonicorn can beat Uncle Trav and his Subi. It's a feel-good movie for the holidays. I mean, I can feel the ugly sweaters and the hot cocoa from here. Just kidding. We're in Australia. We don't do that. It's too hot. We'd rather be down the beach through the holiday season, cooling off. Speaking of Australia, what about a journey of self-discovery? The Hoonicorn takes a trip to the home of the word Hoonicorn. Australia. Personally, I'm not sure it's the home. Maybe it's as Australian as Phar Lap or Pavlova or Keith Urban. But the internet says it, so it must be true. The federal and state governments in Australia are good for pissing away tax dollars on film projects. The easiest would be Hoonicorn getting its tyre shredding on at Summer Nats on the burnout pad. It makes for a nice short film. I mean, you go to Canberra in summer when all the politicians are on holidays and it's stinking hot. We could stretch it out with some work around the country. I know Sydney Harbour Bridge is a bit of a sore point from Gymkhana in the past, and let's face it, it was the stupid bureaucrats that wanted to tell Ken how he had to drive that cost the fans the opportunity to get to see that. But the trick is to either say it's for Hollywood, where they'll chuck millions of taxpaying dollars at you and shut the bridge down for you like they did for the Fall Guy, or to shame them into it. And I'm petty enough to do that shame. You want New South Wales government to jump on board, so do a novelty race at F1 in Melbourne. They're biggest rivals for the claim of biggest city in Australia. My YouTube search history might have a few F1 versus V8 inquiries. Don't judge. So they pit the Hoonicorn against an F1 car and a V8 and maybe a nice Mercedes or BMW road car to show the difference on a handicap race like they have it done in the past. I mean, for bonus points, you could even try to get it as a family member in each of the cars. While in Victoria, maybe the government is open to closing the Great Ocean Road and letting you film in front of the 12? Well, now maybe is it 7 Apostles? Or other locations? Fed Square? Or is that a little too close to the Burke Street Mall attack? Then guess what? That's right, Hoonicorn shows up again with the V8 supercars at Adelaide and Gold Coast street circuits. Either there for entertainment, or a novelty race, or just to, maybe do a few doughies while the track's closed. It could be a year-long project. You could call it Strayakana. And while in Adelaide, there's some shots from the recent Mad Max films that were shot out in the outback in South Australia, or you could go up the hills area, and apparently they've got wineries. Gold Coast, you've got, you're in Vegas, so there's Movie World, Sea World, Dream World, all the amusement parks. You've got the roads up in the hinterland, and I don't think the Hoonicorn would go so well with the Great Barrier Reef, but you never know, you could try heading further north in Queensland. Then maybe target Tasmania. Also get some Hoonicorn action on their burnout night. Sorry, too many cars lost on Target Tasmania that I wouldn't want to put the Hoonicorn into it. If you need any reference, just check out Eric Benner talking about his Beast documentary. And you could even have the car shipped over to Perth and participate in the tarmac rally that they do through Perth, right by the Swan River. And you could even take the road out along the rally where Brocky's monument is. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. That's why he has a monument. In WA, it would be awesome to be able to take some rally cars out on the private mining roads of the mining companies up in the Pilbara. But, that's going to require a few relationships that just are not built yet. And if we can chuck in Darwin V8 races as well, you could go along there. And, Summer Nats is in ACT, so you've pretty much covered every state and territory other than New South Wales, where the bureaucrats were being, what can I say that's PG friendly? Tools? If it's not obvious, I'm a Sydney-sider. I'd love to have seen Gymkhana come to Australia and be shot on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, but no. Our world-leading government, who are world leaders with transport, couldn't work with Gymkhana, who were able to shut down the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco and a major interchange of freeways in Los Angeles. But Sydney, a city of 4 million people, and they couldn't shut down a bridge. They've done it before, and they do it for movies. They just wouldn't do it for Gymkhana. Yeah, we can have the debate that Mark Webber definitely travelled more than 90 kilometres an hour when he was told not to do more than 90. And we can have the debate that Ken could have gone out there and broken rules. I could keep on going on. I could come up with a whole heap of things that we could do. But that's going to be boring. And I'm sure there's other fans all around the world that could also make submissions with scouting shots. Yeah, I guess it's time to wrap this up.